Hi, my name is David Hayes. I'm the pastor at Parkview Church. I moved to Parkview in 1986 in August, and it was the first church I ever pastored. We left there in 1992 to go over and do some work in Eastern Europe, and then came back and spent some time in the southwestern United States, and then planted a church in northern Indiana. But when the opportunity came for us to come home to Parkview in 2005, it wasn't a very difficult decision for my wife and I and our family. I want to welcome you. If you're watching this video, chances are you've recently visited one of our worship services, and we're really glad you did. And today I just want to introduce you to who we are, to our values, and let you know that this place that I've found to be really dear to my heart has also become vital to my spiritual life and to my journey in life. So sometimes in life, we may be kind of skating around the edges and wondering if we want to get serious about the spiritual stuff, and I guess there are times when we just have to decide to go ahead and strap on the pack and get with it. So follow me, and let's see what Parkview is about. When we think about Parkview, I guess we've adopted 5 things that we call values, 5 core values that we hold at the center of who we are. We believe they're from Scripture. We believe they're important, and they begin with worship. So if you joined us for worship and that's how you were introduced to us, then you know that we gather each Sunday for the purpose of worshiping together. We know that worship is bigger than something that can be done in one room and in one place. In fact, this is probably one of my favorite places to worship, and I'm sure that many of you enjoy the beauty of nature as well. After worship, our second value is spiritual formation, and I'll be talking about spiritual formation again in just a minute. The third value after spiritual formation is loving one another deeply, and maybe that's the reason my family and I really wanted to get back to Nashville, Indiana. I don't know that it was so much just the beauty of this place or just the fact that there's a church there that we enjoyed pastoring. I think more than anything is the people in that church, the people that have been friends forever. So one of our values is loving one another deeply. Another one is connecting the unconnected to Christ, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And then the last value is servanthood. Spiritual formation, it's not just for the purpose of making me a clean and shiny good guy. I used to kind of think that's what being a Christian was all about, was just learning to be really good, better than most. But we don't believe that either. We define spiritual formation as being transformed into the likeness of Jesus for the sake of others, which means it's not about us, it's for the sake of others. When we talk about loving one another deeply, it's one thing to come on Sunday morning and shake hands and greet each other, and boy do I look forward to that, and sometimes that kind of keeps me going through the week knowing that day's coming. But it's another thing to know that when disaster strikes, when you get that phone call that you don't want to get late at night, when you get sad news, tough news, when things are hard, it's a great thing to know that you're surrounded by people who are in this with you, who are hiking along by your side, I guess you could say. It helps us to really focus in on the idea that it's not about me, and if my brother or my sister needs me, if they need my friendship, if they need my encouragement, not my platitudes, not my scripture memorization, but maybe a promise here and there, and maybe standing beside them in some really tough times. The Parkview people are good at that. They really do love each other deeply. And I think if you come and you give us some time, I think you'll find that you can be a part of a family that's like none other that I've found anywhere in the world. And I've looked a few places. Well, that spiritual formation not only leads us to love one another, but it also leads us to be servants. We believe that we're called to servanthood, and that's one of our values. Servanthood is what you see when you see Jesus. You never see Jesus just floating around looking fancy spiritually. Jesus is always reaching out to the people who hurt and who've seen the ugly side of life. And believe me, I'm sure you've seen plenty of it yourself, but the ugly side of life is all around us. And we believe that as people of the kingdom, as people of Jesus, that we're called to rescue people out of that, to help to reach them, to find Jesus, to find hope. When we talk about connecting the unconnected to Jesus, we take seriously our role of saying, you know, we want you to know Him. And maybe you can see in us a little bit of what He's like. Maybe when you see us care for a family that's in crisis, or a single parent that's hurting, or maybe a senior adult that's fighting a terminal disease, maybe you'll understand that we can't just fix people the way Jesus does, it doesn't seem, but we're able to pray, and we're told to, and we're able to enfold them in the kind of love that He's enfolded us in. If you want to be a part of a church like Parkview, we don't invite you just to come and be a part of a Sunday show or something. We invite you to come and be a part of what we're about. None of us can know what the future holds, what tomorrow looks like, but we can know this, that if we have our place in a church, our place with a group of people who are committed to the same things we are, that while life may not be easier, it will sure be full of a lot more blessing, a lot more joy, a lot more good stuff, because you share it with others. So my invitation to you is, if you're ready for a journey, you're ready to move forward spiritually, ready to move forward with friends, and to become what maybe you've dreamed you'd be, I just ask you to follow along, and let's go together.